Claire, I'm going to be going on another business trip this week.
What? Again? Recently, all you've been doing is business trips. To the point that I feel like you're never even in town for more than a month at a time.
Well, ever since I came into this department, someone ended up quitting, and another person ended up taking some time off for their child's birth.
Is that so? But having you work on your weekends is also a bit too far. Don't you think it's time you talk with your boss about getting some time off for working as much as you have?
I know that it's not what's best for me, but in this day and age, it's already more than enough that I've got a well-paying job. But I'm sure things here will get better soon again. I'm not sure when that'll be though, so maybe you should just accept this new way of life between us.
So then, for the foreseeable future, you'll stay this busy? Does that really seem okay to you?
Well, yeah, I guess it has to be okay with me. I'm sorry for leaving you all alone with the house.
No, you don't have to be sorry about that. It's just that recently it's felt like I'm living all by myself again. Like I'm back to the way life was before we knew one another.
What does that mean? Seems like you're still complaining about me not being around at home with you. I just told you that I'm sorry for what's happening at work. Are you blind or something?
I overheard something from one of the neighbors just a bit ago about you. They said they received something interesting from you a week ago?
Huh? What are you talking about now? What do they mean something from me? I don't recall giving anything to either of them.
Well, I didn't really know what they meant by that myself, so I went over to them and asked what they meant by that. They said that you went to a really nice store and you bought the wife something really expensive from there. Yet, I don't remember you getting anything for me on your last trip.
That's because she asked me to do a favor for her. She knew I was going to be in New York and asked me to stop at one of the stores there to get her something she really wanted. That's all that was.
I heard that the store was a really high-end brand as well. And that it was for women's lingerie?
I told you that it was the wife that asked me to get it for her. What? You think that I'm going out with her or something behind your back? It's not like I'm ever going to see her wearing those panties and bra that I got for her.
Well, it wouldn't be wrong of me to think that you have some special relation to her.
Ugh. You really have lost all affection for me that made you so special. If you really loved me, you'd be getting jealous about this and asking me to buy you some nice lingerie. I'm sure you stopped loving me as much as you once did, and are now worried that I'd leave you for that, but I promise that I'm still 100% your man. So, could you please stop thinking things like that of me?
Well, excuse me, Davis, what do you want me to say? Do you really think I don't care about you anymore?
Look, now that I've said something about it, you're trying to fight back. That must mean you know what I've said is true. That you're not that interested in me. I'd like it if you just treated me the same way you used to back when we first got married. You were all over me and would never let me rest when I got home from work. But I suppose the story that said women get worse as they age was right. I guess it's just part of growing old.
Well, maybe this is because you're never home anymore to be around me. I had thought that your life at that company would never be this busy for you. Your mom was the one that helped you get in there too, right? Why would she do that if it meant you'd be home less to be with me?
And she was right to help me get this job. I'm her only kid after all, so she was going to help me find a nice place of work.
But I remember her saying to you that it'd be a really simple job and that there was never going to be really long and busy times like you're telling me about now.
But right now this department is missing some people, so I have to work harder and longer. If I had the option to come home sooner, I'd take it. But that's not going to happen, so just leave it.
Then could you at least take a little time each week to be around me? Just once a week is all I ask for. If things keep going on like this, I'm really gonna start feeling like I live here all by myself.
All right. Once a week, right?
Can you really do that for me? You said it yourself that you're really busy, right?
But you're the one asking me to make time for you while I'm this busy. Why would you then doubt me on that and say that I'm too busy to give you that time?
I know that, but
Well, that's another thing. Can you stop asking me things that are impossible for me when you already know the outcome? Like, come on, Claire.
alright, I'm sorry. I'll make sure to think about things before asking next time.
That's right. You should know better than to pester me about things that I can't change. Especially when we've already had conversations about my current work. And you also no longer have the youth to make stupid comments like that, so you better start making friends with me again. You already know that you're not like my mom, who's able to make more money than most men, right?
I'm aware that your mom is an amazing woman. But you shouldn't act like I can't take care of myself without you around.
Again, another stupid comment coming out of your mouth. Are you not able to just shut up when asked? If you'd like me to come home sooner from work, maybe you should start by making a home that I'd actually like to come home to. If you say anything else that pisses me off, I'm going to start leaving you behind. So, now that you're aware, you should be quiet now, right?
Davis, can you get home as soon as you can today?
What? We just had dinner together a couple nights ago on Monday, right? I don't have any more chances to get home from work early this week.
But you should be able to, right?
What are you saying? Something that's impossible is never going to happen. I'm at work right now anyway, so I have no way of getting out of here before I complete today's work.
All you're doing is having an affair right now, right? Is that what you'd call work?
You're trying to talk with me about that again? I told you that I would never go out with someone else. I even did as you said and made it home at least once a week earlier than normal, right? So you can stop saying such hurtful things to me already. I've been doing my best, yet you're still trying to blame me for something I'm not doing?
I'm telling you I have evidence.
Really? You really have evidence? And what could that even be?
I've asked someone to follow you and see if you've been cheating on me. And they told me that they saw you with a younger woman having an affair.
So, you went ahead and started looking into me.
Well, something has seemed off about you for the longest time now. You started to get into women's fashion for some reason. And whenever you're home, you're always on your phone, texting with someone. You even bring your phone with you when you go take a shower and stuff.
Oh, come on now. So what does that have to do with me cheating? Do you want some kind of settlement from me?
You think that'll solve things?
Well, you said you have the evidence of me doing it, right? I have no choice but to try and find a way to make things right now.
I'm sure you want to, but I have to ask, do you really not care about me anymore?
Yeah, because you've gotten old and there's nothing I really want from you anymore. Before you used to be eye candy, but now I can't say the same. All you are now is some middle-aged woman that didn't ripen very well.
Well, if I'm some old middle-aged woman, then that makes you some old middle-aged man.
Were you not listening to me? As women get older, they only become worse, both physically and mentally. But us men, well, we only get better, like a fine wine. And lots of young gals love us older men. And at the moment, the younger girl and I have already thought about getting married. So, I have no use for you. So with that, you're alright with getting divorced, right?
You think you can decide that for us so easily?
Huh? Then what do you think we should do? Did you think that I'd start crying and ask for you to forgive me or something?
That's not what I wanted. I just want to know why you've kept this a secret from me. You should have just told me you found someone else to love back when you guys first met. That would have been better for everyone, right?
I only kept it a secret for your sake. You'd never make it after a divorce. You're not some young, beautiful girl anymore, so getting tossed out by your husband now is only a death sentence, right? I was being very nice by keeping this all away from you. I just assumed that me keeping my mouth shut would have given you the time to go have fun on your own.
I can't take this anymore. I now know exactly how you feel about me.
Don't tell me you don't plan a divorce now. This all started because of you, right? You went ahead and looked into me and the girl I'm with, so that must mean you never wanted to stay with me.
I get it already. But to think you really want to get a divorce without even trying to save our marriage is killing me. I believed that there'd at least be a little bit of you that loved me.
Well, that was foolish of you. This isn't some fantasy where men hold on to their wives after they've gotten old. It's all your fault for starting this.
I tried my hardest to love you. But you made it clear to me that you were making time for someone else, and it was breaking my heart. When I had to go and ask someone to start looking into you, it really did make me feel like a terrible person, but I had no other choice.
Is that so? Well, I already get what you're trying to say, so you can stop now.
What have you been thinking of our marriage together?
I said I'm done with this. I told you that I have been cheating on you, that I'm okay with getting a divorce. That should be enough for you. Now go out and get us the paperwork and I'll sign whatever has to be signed. And this place is under my family's name, so you have to be the one to leave.
You don't even have to heckle me about it because I'll be gone before you know it.
You really are such an idiot. You leaving me just ruined your chance of ever getting anything from my mom's will. You'll never even be able to live in such a nice condo ever again, right? Guess you should have thought twice before accusing me of cheating on you, huh?
Well, it doesn't even matter because living in a gorgeous house where I'm still not happy has no meaning.
I guess that's true. Well, you have fun trying to find that happiness you want on your own then. I'm going to start right now making plans with my girlfriend to live our happiest lives yet.
Will you? Well then, I'll make sure to talk with a lawyer about getting a settlement from you. You better be ready for when we contact you.
Sure thing. I'm sure that if I complain to my mom, she'll pay off that settlement for me. Might as well start talking to her about this right now. Well, I'll be off now.
I'm sorry for texting you this late. Are you still awake?
I'm still awake, Claire. What's going on? Does this have something to do with Davis?
Yes, Bella, he asked me to divorce him. He said that an old woman like me is useless to him. I'm sorry that I wasn't able to make things work with your son and that you spent so much time on us.
What are you talking about? I'm the one that should be apologizing to you. I'm really thankful that you made it this far in marriage with that dunce of mine. I'm truly sorry for him. I have always had a soft spot in my heart for you.
Wait, you don't have to apologize to me either. It seems though that Davis has made a new girlfriend and he plans to have her move in with him soon. So I'm planning to get out of that house as soon as I can.
I see. Then I guess it's time for our counterattack.
Counterattack?
Claire, do you really plan to just let him win after everything he's done to you?
But from what I'm aware of, I'm already going to be able to get a settlement from him here soon. And he's planning on having you pay it off for him when the time comes. I'm sorry, Bella, but I don't know what else I could do about him.
What are you talking about? I'm the one that got him a job in that company, and I'm the one that let him live in that condo with you. The only reason I ever did that much for him is because you were with him.
Seriously? It was all for me?
Of course it all was. If it wasn't for him marrying such a lovely woman like you, I would have tossed him aside years ago. I never expected such a letdown of a son to find an amazing woman that would actually marry him. So that's why I had to give my thanks to you after you took him under your care. Did you never notice any of that?
I noticed that you seemed to be very nice towards me and all, but because Davis was an only child, I heard from him that you'd do anything to make him happy.
That's not it at all. I never gave any of my money to that greedy child for his sake. Before I even married you, he solely relied on me for any money. But since you took him, I thought I shouldn't just let him continue to take from me, and so I got him a job to try and make you more happy about marrying him.
So this was all for me then? I never thought this would have been the case.
But now it seems my son has started to take even more advantage of me. I'm so sorry that he thought everything I was doing was all for him.
No, I never thought that you were thinking of me the whole time. I'm just glad I finally got to hear that from you. But why did you think you had to do so much for me?
Well, it wasn't just because you married Davis, but because back when you were still in university, you helped me out a bunch.
What?
Out of nowhere, in the middle of the sidewalk, I started to feel terrible and began throwing up. Most of the people around me thought I was just some drunk and didn't come to help me. But you were the only one that came to me and asked if I was okay.
Wow, I sort of remember something like that happening.
I'm sure that something such as that wasn't too big of a deal to you.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
I'm not blaming you for that. You're just the type of person that helps people out of the kindness of your heart and doesn't see it as something to brag about. I'm sure that's the reason you don't really remember anything about this, but that's the reason that I love you so much. You are just the nicest person I know, and that's what makes me so happy.
Ella, thank you so much for saying that to me. That's the first time hearing anything like that from anyone, so I'm crying with joy.
Well, I'm sure a bunch of other people feel the same way about you being the nicest person they know. I'm just sorry that it took me so long to say thank you for all of that. I just thought it would embarrass you a little, and so I kept it to myself all these years. So please just know that I've been thinking about you ever since that day.
Oh, thank you so much. Just hearing those words from you is filling me with joy. Recently things have been terrible for my heart, so...
And that's why you can do anything you want. I just want to make sure that you get back to being a wonderful person. And that's why from today, we're going to make sure that Davis understands just how much he's messed up.
Hey, Claire. Where have you gone off to?
You're asking me after I told you that I got a new house?
I know what you said. But I want to know your new address.
And what makes you think I'd tell my ex that just after we divorced? You should be well aware that the two of us are nothing now and never will be again.
I know, but right now my mom is really pissed with me. She said that since I'm no longer with you, she's not going to support me anymore. So I've been thinking, why don't we just get back together again?
Huh?
There's nothing wrong with me thinking that, right? You never wanted to even divorce me in the first place, right? I even have the marriage papers with me and can come over to your place and have you sign them. I don't even think it'd be a problem for us to get married again since we already got over our last issue.
How far are you going to take treating me like I'm an idiot? You told me before that I'm worth nothing to you, and now you plan to marry me again?
Are you saying you don't love me anymore? Even after blaming me for not loving you anymore?
You told me that I was an idiot for thinking you still loved me and then asked that I divorce you. I can't believe that you're back now asking to get remarried so soon.
But hey, getting back together with me has a lot of merits, right? You'll be able to come back to living in such a nice condo with me again. And when my mom finally decides to keel over, you and I get all of her will. Then we can use all that money and her things to go on all sorts of trips, and I might even be able to retire early.
No way that's happening. Because I'm already being treated very well by your mom. She even introduced me to a very special realtor that's gotten me a new place for cheap. I'm in an apartment complex down by the water, and I'm in the penthouse room with a beautiful view of the sunset. There's nothing that I'd want more than to continue the life I have now.
What? An apartment complex downtown? The penthouse?
You should have heard all about this from your mom, right? She was only supporting you because you had me as your wife. I am sure the only reason you want me to remarry you now is because she's gone and asked you to get out of the condo she gave you, right? And she's not gonna help you pay the settlement to me either.
Why? Why does my own mom care more about you than she does her own boy?
Well, to any sane person, you messed up big time by cheating on me.
But what she's doing is far too much. I'm her only child after all. But now she's even talking about cutting ties with me? What the hell have you done with my mom? Are you trying to weaken her so she'll stay on your side?
If your mom hasn't told you anything else about this, then I'm not gonna say anything more. But I'm sure the reason for all of this is because of something I did in the past.
I don't even know what you're talking about now. Please come back to me. If you don't, I'm sure I'll be losing my job soon as well. The company's CEO and my mom are very good friends, so I'm sure she's going to say something to him about me. I bet I'll hear from my manager about having me stay home from the office or something.
Well, what did I tell you back when you kept saying you were so busy with work? I said that your mom got you that job, and I don't think she'd ever have you work at a place that mistreated you by overworking you. But from what I hear, you weren't even working harder, but rather pushing your work onto your other coworkers. So you were probably going to lose your job even without the help of your mom.
I really messed up. I'm so sorry for treating you like an idiot all this time. And I'm even more sorry for never coming home to you after work. But I'll make sure from now on to become the best husband to you. So, please forgive me?
I have no reason to do that for you. If I chose to come back to you, that would be the stupidest thing I've ever done in my life. All I have to say is I no longer need you in my life.
If you come back to my side, I'll do anything for you. I will follow everything you tell me to do down to the last word. I'm sorry. I'm really, really sorry. I've learned from all my mistakes now, and I really regret everything. So, give me just one more chance and remarry me.
I don't think I can believe anything you say anymore. And honestly, I don't see any reason for me to live with you again. I was even working a job as well, yet you left me in the house to do all the chores while you went off to have an affair with some younger woman. What kind of use could I get from a man like that? All you are is a slimy man-child that likes to take advantage of your mom's wealth, and I have no need for some old man like that. From there, I continued to get text after text and call after call from my ex, so I had to end up blocking his number and any other forms of communication with him. After that, I never got anything else from him. It also seems that Bella was serious about cutting ties with her son and went as far as to sell the house she had been in and move somewhere new where her son could never find her. As for my new apartment, Davis still doesn't know the address either. Once it had been made clear that nobody was going to help him, he received a call from his boss telling him he'd have to stay out of the office for a while as they investigated him. And when I went and asked for the settlement from him, his girlfriend that had been with him while he was married to me got fed up and left him. I was able to get the money I asked for from her, but she told me that he was trying to get her to pay for him as well. But she wasn't going to bite, so she blocked his number as well and moved to a new house. And now, since Davis no longer has a job to go to for the time being, he hasn't been able to pay the full amount I've asked for. So I gave him the option to pay little by little each month. And to try to keep himself in good light with his work while under investigation, he's been working long days from home to meet any of the company's needs. Back when I first started dating Davis, he really seemed to be a nice and genuine guy. And I was even able to make some amazing memories with him, and that's why it was hard to divorce him. But now, thinking of how he only really loved me because I was young and looked great to him, I no longer feel as bad for leaving him behind. Now, I don't even feel one bit of regret for leaving him, and I'm glad things have turned out this way. All I really have to worry about with him now is whether he'll be able to pay off the rest of the settlement for me or not. But once that's been taken care of, I won't ever think of him ever again. I'll then start to work on distressing myself by going out with old friends and things like that. And start to find ways to really enjoy life as a single, middle-aged woman. And even though I'm not technically family with my mother-in-law anymore, I still like to go out at least once a month with her to get coffee somewhere and catch up on life. I'm so happy that I have a person like her in my life, and I'm gonna continue living my life as the person she respects me for being.